This clip is sponsored by American Mobile. If you're a nurse interested in traveling, visit americanmobile.com to get started. I want to talk about the different avenues that we can do nurse writing, because immediately when I think of nurse authoring, I think of, abstracts that you might submit for conferences, or like writing a book. I don't necessarily, writing for a newspaper isn't the first thing that comes to mind. So what other types of nurse writing am I missing that other nurses might be, not be thinking about?
Well, of course, there's journal writing, and I think many times when nurses think about journal writing, they think more of the, that they've done a research project and they're publishing research maybe in a specialty journal. But there's also the generalist journals like the American Nurse Journal, where it's not the pure research, but it's more about the application of the research. Like, I looked at the research, here's what the evidence said, and we tried this project, and here's what my team did, and we improved patient outcomes. Those are just great stories that I think inspire other nurses, even if it's not the story or not the exact route that they would go in developing a project. It helps give them ideas, and it encourages them to tackle their projects. Yeah. So, journal writing, but there's so many kinds of journals. There's more research focused, more conversational, like American Nurse Journal. But then besides that as well is, the journal websites many times, and our journal website has a blog. We have some bloggers that write for us, and those pieces are nice because they can be a little bit more opinion and not go through the peer review process. So it's a way to, have your voice be heard without going through all the evidence. Sure. Yeah. So there's a lot of opportunities for writing for nurses. Yeah.
I think one of the things that I have a couple copies of American Nurse Journal, and I was just looking through them. Yeah. It's more digestible than some research journals. I mean, I think, and that's probably what is an intimidating factor for nurses that feel like, it probably isn't for me, is that it can, become this like conversational kind of tone, a little more relaxed, and people talking about their different experiences. There was one article that I was reading about mnemonics for cranial nerves. And it was like, that's a great, it's digestible, in a way that we, can communicate and understand. And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, that like totally makes sense. I can remember this, no problem.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that is a tough topic, cranial nerves, I must say. But the mnemonic can help. Yeah. Yeah, sharing those tips and ideas, and it doesn't have to be, I think sometimes too nurses feel like they have to cover the topic comprehensively, and it has to be from beginning to end. But many times the topics are focused on just a niche of a content area, and that's okay. They can be 3 and 4 pages in the journal. It's 1,800 to 2,400 words. It's short. And that's a good, and many times short is better. I think that we're taught in school that longer is better, but actually in journal writing, shorter is better. If you can say something in 1,800 words instead of 2,400 words, you're saving that reader that time and energy to get through that, and you're saying it more directly, and it's going to be a more enjoyable read. So that little change, though, is a little bit difficult for nurses. That tighter writing and editing, we're not used to that.